What's a secret life hack you use that is really useful? Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. I wish you a pleasant viewing experience. Story 1, 2 of them. Don't waste time in the kitchen. Meaning, if you are waiting for something to get done, do a dish, set a plate, prep the next phase, etc. It saves so much time. Not connected. When facing a difficult choice and you flip a coin, if you're disappointed by the result, you know in your heart what decision you really wanted. Story 2. When looking at recipes online, click the print link. This cuts out the unnecessary backstory and random musings. You can also save the recipe as a PDF to your computer, or even just the link to the printable version. Story 3. No empty hands. I saw this in a thread like this before, and it's a great trick for keeping a place tidy. Essentially, anytime you've to move from one place to another, check to see if there's anything you can take with you to tidy up. It's not about tidying up, just chipping away. Edgy. Sitting at your sofa and have finished a coffee whilst getting up to the bathroom, take the empty cup with you and leave it by the sink. It's amazing how quickly it becomes a habit and how much it helps in keeping a place tidy. Story 4. Not a secret, but still a life hack that should be more well known. When someone is venting to you, before responding, figure out if they want to be consoled or do they want a solution to their problem. Story 5. If you're at a convention or swap meet or anything where vendors travel to a location, wait until the last day if you want a deal. Most people aren't eager to carry merchandise back home with them and are willing to give discounts. Story 6. Quick anxiety fix. Happiness is like money. Just as it is not the job of others to make you rich, it is also not the job of others to make you happy. That's your responsibility. Likewise, it is not your job to make them happy either. That's their responsibility. But just as you will make more money in the long run by providing value than taking value, you will also gain more happiness yourself by helping others become happier themselves. But again, you don't have to. Just as you can steal, rob, and scam for your own benefit in the short term, you can also shame, despise, and contempt others to make yourself feel better too. It's just that others will do it to you too, making it unsustainable. Story 7. Got a stuffy nose, and no matter how hard you blow it, it just seems to stay stuffed. It's inflamed and you can trick your body into releasing the pressure. Blow all the air out of your lungs and plug your nose and mouth. Tip your head back and then up again slowly while holding your breath for as long as you can. When you go to take a breath, the inflamed sinus will temporarily go away and you'll be able to breathe again. While it's only temporary, it will make you feel so much better. Story 8. Wake up early and give your girl, wash, wife, significant other the full Monty of flowers, candy, gifts for special occasions like Valentine's, anniversary, the first thing in the morning. The longer you leave them to their thoughts over the day, the greater the expectation will be. Especially on those days, other friends and coworkers are getting bestowed gifts. Story 9. When I'm super tired but still need to focus, I use the 20-minute power nap trick. I set an alarm for 20 minutes, close my eyes, and just zone out. Doesn't matter if I fall asleep or not, it totally recharges me. Then I feel way more alert and ready to take on whatever. Super simple, but it works like magic. Story 10. Cut all expectations when communicating with other people. Helps avoid unnecessary disappointment. Lower the importance of any major or minor event. Helps prevent being overstressed and triggered by literally anything, making you much healthier. Story 11 thought this was common knowledge, but a friend recently asked what I was doing. Spreading your food out in the microwave into a ring shape in your bowl plate so it heats less unevenly. Still uneven, but the biggest consistent temperature gradient is between the edges and the center. So if you can make as much of it edges as possible, you more effectively lower the difference. Story 12. Meet people where they are. And as far as they are willing to meet you and match energy, everyone thinks that you should be the bigger person. But the problem with being the bigger person is that you're making allowances. But if you start off with respect and then match energy, then either you build a great friendship or everything goes to hell, and either way, it's not your loss to begin with. Story 13. When trying to divide something into equal parts, move the measuring tape until it reads a number that is easy to divide. For example, if you have a 41-inch board, you want to divide into 7 sections. Move the tape diagonally until it reads 42 inches. Mark it multiples of 6 and they will be evenly spaced. Story 14. You can de-wrinkle clothes with a wet washcloth placed with your clothes in the dryer for like 20 minutes on medium heat. Dryer sheets can be placed down to keep mice away from furniture wash cushions. This is good for cabins, vacation homes, or basements. I just saw this online. Putting frozen meat between two frying pans defrosts it pretty quick. I have yet to try this, but it apparently works. Story 15. Dumpsters can have a lot of stuff you can sell, give to family, friends, donate to the needy, can save, make you a lot of money. There is a crazy amount if new or slightly used stuff stores throw out that goes right into the landfill. It is eye-openingly shocking how much utter waste is happening. I have more stuff now I got for free that I could use that I would have never bought before because I am so frugal. I find so much stuff sometimes that I have to leave it behind because it is not practical to take it all. Story 16. When you want to hang something on the wall, picture game, etc., put a tiny dab of toothpaste on the item where the nail will sit. Line up the item where you want it on the wall, leaving a tiny gap where the toothpaste is. When it's where you want it, press the item all the way against the wall. This will leave a tiny toothpaste mark on the wall, telling you exactly where to drive the nail. It works like a dream. No measuring, no multiple attempts, no time-consuming methods. I've used this method for years and it works so much better than anything else. I find eyeballing it in this way is better than even measuring, because rooms are rarely flawlessly proportioned, so even if you measure exactly, it won't look quite right. Story 17. If you need to lie, make a boring one full of technicalities, bland details, etc. I was asked to bring my sister's birthday cake in secret, but she saw me sneaking out. When she asked me about it, I just made an ordinary and bland story about someone calling me to pick up some mail for our father, but when we arrived there, we found out someone had put a wrong number, and then she left before I finished talking. Story 18. This is my life hacks. Maybe they will help someone. You are what you eat. Take care of your body and health from the very beginning. Make a stretching. Eat a lot of veggies and greens, fruits and good meat. You want to be healthy at your retirement. Believe me, if you have a big dream, goal, cut it into small steps and celebrate each small win, step by step. You can cook whole potatoes in the microwave. I've known that just this year, and it changed my life. If you're abroad, never exchange a lot of money in the airport. Change just an amount enough for one day, taxi ride, food, water, until you'll find a better course. Before traveling, learn how to say 3 things in a foreign language. Hello, thank you, and where is? That can save your life, or at least to find your hotel in unknown city. If you're in an exotic country, always eat where a lot of locals are eating, not tourists. When travel, always put your important belongings, documents, cash, cards, jewelry, closer to your body, for example, on a waist bag, not in a purse or backpack. Losing cards and passport in foreign country would be catastrophe. Never leave your drink open in a club or bar. If you're going to the restroom, especially abroad, even if you're a male. I use the app for my budget. At the end of the month, I can see where my money goes, and I can decide if I can cut some expenses to save more. I cook more at home to save money for bigger goals. Restaurants, to-goes take 20-30% of a budget. Even one coffee to go per day for $5 will cost $150 every month. It can cover my car's insurance. So I just take to go when I'm very tired to cook or I want to spoil myself for something good that I've done. It needs a discipline and a habit, I know. Always remember, you are good enough, you are smart enough, you are brave, and you can do it. Story 19. Don't scrub your body every day. Sometimes just some water's enough. However, still wash your butt, armpits, and feet. While ordering food online, look at the pics in the review. Look closely how cooked meat items are veggies soggy, etc. Next, don't order what you want. Order what's good at that restaurant. It's always a success. Ask for names of service people and compliment them if they are helpful. Story 20. Baking dishes and casseroles with baked-on food. Fill with hot water and add dish soap. Put a dryer sheet in it while soaking. Everything comes out easy the next day. Using the sheet to get the baked food off. Used to have to soak for days. Story 21. When you are getting hiccups and have water nearby, drape your arms over your head as you take a few big gulps of water and leave your arms there for a bit. 100% success rate. I learned it from my grandma in Taiwan. The whole thing was a bit more complicated, but this was my modified version that I can do most discreetly in public without drawing attention. Ha ha ha. Story 22. When you're making hard-boiled eggs, lightly crack them before you put them in to boil. You want to be able to kind of see the membrane of the egg, but you don't want it leaking. Then when it comes time to peel them, put them in a bowl, cover them in water, and vigorously swish the bowl around with a lid on it. Shells come right off. Story 23. When meeting someone for the first time, be more interested in talking about them than you are talking about you. Ask open-ended questions and then follow up on what they say. You'll be regarded as a superb conversationalist. Story 24. If the jar lid is really tight, Use something like a butter knife to pry the side of it a tiny margin. It will create a crevice that will let the air out and lose the pressure. Then you can open the lid very easily because the torque to which it was tightened by factory is not that much usually. Story 25. After months of tension, headaches, and getting them fixed by a physio, I can feel them coming on now. If I stretch my neck just right, it takes them away before they start. I know this isn't for everyone, but it works for me and hopefully others. Story 26. Walk through your home and tell ChatGPT everything you see that's out of place or that you'd like to improve. It'll take everything you said, organize it by room, and organize it by priority. You can talk to it as you're cleaning or when you're done a task and have it check off your list. If you don't have a lot of energy but feel like you need to get something done, it'll throw an easy one your way or break a bigger one down into smaller tasks for you. Story 27. Realizing that reason is ultimately just a puppet of emotion. Many people believe that reason controls emotion, like a master holding the leash of a dog. However, we simply act according to our emotions and desires, while reason merely finds the most suitable way to express them. Emotion is like a ruthless boss, and reason is the secretary who carries out the boss's order. While it doesn't completely eliminate cognitive bias, it does help to some extent. Story 28. Never check bags on an airplane. If you can't fit everything in your carry-on, then FedEx your luggage to your destination. Also, use pre-check. It's free if you have a TWIC. Just enter your twisty card number as your known traveler number when booking your tickets. Story 29. Not life-changing, but when I get up from sitting somewhere in public, restaurant, park bench, picnic spot, I look back at that spot when I'm walking away to make sure I haven't left anything behind. Often when you're getting up and grabbing a bunch of things at once, it's easy to miss something or for something to slip out of a pocket, phone, wallet, glasses, keys, etc. But when you look back at the empty area, you'll notice it. Story 30, I saw this on Reddit a few years ago, and it's really helped. When there's something you don't like to do, see if you can break it down to smaller steps and then identify which step you truly dislike and then make that one step easier, and then the whole process will seem easier. I thought hated cooking, but when I really broke it down, I hated slicing and dicing, so I got a food chopper, and I think it's sort of fun now. I try so many more recipes, like soups, because I don't mind the prep now. Story 31, I set my exercise goal on my smartwatch to 15 min and refuse to budget. It's deliberately small and achievable and not a big deal, and once momentum builds, I usually want to keep going. Related, but I find the warm-ups the hardest part of exercise, particularly mentally. It takes me about 15 minutes to properly warm up and get into my groove, at which point I'm happy to keep going. Story 32, have a guidance oracle deck on almost every topic, like self-love. When you don't know which way to go, it guides you to connect with your intuition. Then you'll find a way, or it can just give you a straight advice. Almost work with every situation where I feel stuck, want to improve my life. Story 33, I am very allergic to poison ivy. Every other summer for years, I'd stumble into some, or grab it and be covered during the hottest time of the year, until I changed the background on my phone and computer to pictures of poison ivy in various stages of development and left it for about 6 months. I haven't had poison ivy since, as I can recognize it instantly now. Oh, and if you have a parent in a senior living facility, keep a bowl of candy in their room for the nurses, and they will get more attention. Story 34, after finishing evening meal, I will immediately wash up everything we've used, no dishwasher, and will then immediately go to the bathroom and fully floss my teeth. I do this with a timer to make it a little contest for myself. This has 4 benefits. Get gently moving after eating, which is good for you. Washing up gets done quickly instead of sitting in the sink for ages getting smelly. By the time I've cleaned up and gone to the bathroom, it's been long enough that brushing my teeth isn't immediate after eating, which is better for the teeth. I don't snack in the evenings because I've already brushed and flossed and don't want to again. The timer isn't necessary, but I'm motivated by light competition, so it helps me. Story 35. If you're making coffee in an automatic drip coffee maker, especially a cheap one, leaving a little bit of water in the carafe, about an ounce here or so, will significantly improve the flavor. It prevents the first bit of brewed coffee from becoming scorched from the hot plate and flavoring the entire pot. Story 36. From working technical support for longer than I dare think about, most angry customers just want to be heard. Let them have their rant, do active listening, and make notes about what they're saying. They will eventually run out of steam. Then read back everything they talked about and go through it step by step. Works almost every time, and often they are very thankful by the end of the call. Story 37, Hack 1. When you paint a room and remove the light switch plate, on the inside of the plate, write down the color of the paint you used and the brand. Great for when you need to repaint a spot a couple of years later. Hack 2. After you wash and dry a set of sheets, put the top sheet, bottom sheet, and pillowcase all inside of one of the pillowcases. Then you have the whole set together in one neat little package and don't have to look for matching sheets and pillowcases. Story 38. The act of showing up again and again and again. We all want to do new stuff or get better at things or master something, etc. So we try some, and then we quit because it's not easy or the results are not showing up fast enough. My take: if it's something you really want, you just need to show up to it, whatever it is, again and again and again. You will get better at it, and at some point, things will get easier and the returns will start to compound. Show up and do your best again and again and again. And if you flop around, fail at it for a time, good. That's part of the process. The bump in the road you have to work around or through to get to where you want. It's life forging you, molding you into that you that you want to be. Story 39. If you want a comfortable pair of high heels, invest in a pair of dance heels. Lots of beautiful designs and colors, designed to be flexible and comfortable, worth every penny. Just make sure they're not felt soled if you plan on wearing them outdoors. A good quality pair from a company like Repetto are worth getting rubber soled if they aren't already. Your feet will thank you. ETA. So glad some of you found this helpful. My mother has permanent foot deformation from wearing heels daily since 1977, and my discovery of wearing dance heels was born out of my desire to look elegant but avoid pain and disfigurement. Story 40. I am extremely organized except where my keys were concerned. I lost them several times a week. Then I saw the comedian John Richardson saying that people with keys are putters or leavers. I was a leaver, leaving my keys lying around, so I decided to be a putter. As soon as I get in, I put my keys straight into my bag. It seems so stupid, but it totally works and has saved me a lot of stress. Story 41. Going to bed at a consistent time to get enough sleep. Really prioritizing it. It literally makes life so much better and easier. Health improvements in every aspect, both mental and physical. People live their lives chronically underslept, and it causes all types of chaos in their lives. They think it's freedom to stay up late or go to bed whenever they want, usually covering up a cycle of revenge bedtime procrastination, but they are unbeknownst to themselves in an underslept zombie prison of their own making. I got no sleep last night, BTW. Feel like crap. Story 42. Never gossip, no matter how much you dislike a person. It can be really helpful, in particular at work, when that person you dislike and you consider to be dumber to actually save your ass in certain situation rather than have him, her as your rival. I keep receiving gossips from various colleagues about others and always pretend to never know anything, while I know lots of details, and I agree with many of these sometimes. This is really helpful in your career, being neutral and have people not being against you. Story 43. If you work at a PC all day, turn the nightlight on constantly. I have it set to turn on at 4 a.m. and off at 3 a.m. It makes a huge difference in eye strain. After you get used to it, other screens feel like looking at the sun. I set up one of my colleagues' PCs the same, and a week later she told me she had stopped getting headaches every day at 1 p.m., which she had even been going to the opticians for. Story 44. When you finish a bath or shower, before toweling off, rub your hands over your body like a windshield wiper in a car to get off excess water. You brush off a ton of water, meaning there's a lot less to towel off after and less dripping into the floor. Takes only a few seconds and keeps your bathroom from getting soaked while you dry yourself with a towel. Story 45. I'm going to give 2 tips. 1. No is a full sentence and the only needed response to many requests or questions. Stop feeling the need to explain yourself. Occasionally, I reply with no thank you and end the conversation. Also effective. 2. I love a clean and tidy house, but can be a procrastinator. When it's time to get things done, right house, I set my timer for 1 hour and clean the whole time. You'd be surprised how much you will get done in 1 single hour. Story 46. If you have a glass-walled shower and a shower head on a hose, take a few seconds after you finish washing yourself to hose down the walls. It stops the scum build up and means you only need to attack the shower manually maybe once every 6 months. Sparkly clean glass for everyone. Story 47. If you have a hard time reading on a computer screen, either physically or if you just don't enjoy what you're reading, have a hard time with that format, you can download an extension to your web browser that reads everything out loud to you. This is the only way I can digest long work emails or web articles. Saves me so much rereading. And giving your boss a cool accent makes their annoying requests more bearable Story 48. After making ramen that is presumably boiling hot, add frozen peas to cool it down and increase your veg count for the day. This is also the perfect way to cook frozen peas quickly so as to not leach out all the sugars. Other frozen veg can be added as well, but some of them actually need cooking for a number of minutes, which just won't be done in the bowl of ramen. Story 49. If your bed is tucked into a corner or against a wall, but there is still like a 2-inch gap where your remote, glasses, game controller, etc. can fall down between the bed and the wall, buy a pool noddle and shove it down into that gap. It'll stop anything that tries to slide down into that pita gap there. You can also cut one to size and shove it between your driver's seat and the center console to stop your phone or keys from falling into that pita gap. Story 50. Investing in the U.S. is not inherently challenging. Create a Vanguard account, Vanguard.com. Open a Roth IRA. You're eligible if you earn money and your modified adjusted gross income is less than $153K as a single tax filer or $238K as joint. Contribute the max you're allowed to every year, $6.5K this year. Find an ultra-low-cost index fund that tracks the total stock market or S&P 500, VTSX, VTI, VOO, VTWX will provide international exposure to, and invest your contribution into your fund of your choosing. Follow steps 3 and 4 every year. Don't touch the contributions or earnings for as long as possible, 30, 50 years if you can. If it's unrealistic for you due to age, start it for your children. Profit There are likely several tax advantage opportunities available to you to invest in. The longer your investment time horizon, the better. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. Story 51. To speed up the process of cooking ramen noodles, use slightly less water than you think you need when boiling the noodles. And when it's done cooking, toss in a few ice cubes. The water will come to boil faster because there's less of it in the pot, and the ice cubes will quickly cool the finished ramen to an edible temperature. If you use this method, instead of a 15-minute process, it's more of a 5-minute process. Story 52. When you wake up in the morning, drink 500 ml cold water with electrolyte in it. We don't realize how much dehydrated we get while sleeping. The cold water helps you feel alert, and the electrolyte starts hydrating you. You will feel so much better in the morning with this. Less lethargy, more focus, etc. Edit. Couple of people ask which electrolyte I would recommend have. LMNT is the brand I recommend. It is high in sodium, which we need. Okay if your blood pressure is normal, probably not okay if already have hypertension. LMNT on their website also mention how to prepare the same electrolyte at home by buying individual ingredients and turns out far cheaper. I am in Australia. LMNT is a bit expensive, so I buy Relight electrolyte, which is slightly cheaper here. I am planning to put in some effort to actually make the electrolyte at home based on LMNT's recipe. Story 53. If you work for tips, save your coins, 1s and 5s. And if you're hardcore, make good money, your 10s in a box. See that build. If you do lazy change exchange like CoinStare, roll your big coins like quarters and save them. If you drive a ton instead of, oh, I'm low on gas, let me pull over and put 10 in. Just fill the tank up when you cross somewhere cheap. Might be inconvenient, but so is life. Save or freeze leftovers? Ate something 2 nights in a row? I bet you'll want it in 2 weeks. Make sure your tires are aired to completion, ESP after temperature change. This ties in with the gas comment. Huge MPG difference. Tell people you haven't talked to in a while you were thinking about them. In a relationship, it takes 2 people, and not only one person can initiate convo every time. If you're alone and feel like someone's following you, pretend like you got a call and start yelling at them, saying, I'm right here. Get a normal checkup, chart, blood test. Story 54. Help everyone you can and use their name a lot. It's like planting seeds that will come back and be useful in the future. People will remember you and the little things you did, so when you need something from them, they will be happy to help. Edit. Because I can't be bothered responding to everyone saying the same thing. Yes, there is a fine line behind overusing someone's name and saying it enough that people feel seen. That bit just takes practice. Story 55. For more flavorful tasting ramen, put the seasoning packet in the water and mix it up before you add the noodles, not after you've added the noodles and they've softened. The noodles soak up the water to become soft, so the difference is noodles that soaked up unflavored water versus noodles that soak up flavored water. This makes each bite a burst of flavor. Story 56. I used to travel a ton. My 2 travel hacks are, bring a fresh pair of socks in your carry-on and bring an orange. The fresh socks. After a long day of meetings or tourism, when you get on a plane, your socks will be ripe. Yet nothing feels better than fresh socks and taking your shoes off. I take them off at my seat and quickly stuff the offending socks on a plastic baggie from headphones or something similar and put them deep in my bag. Also, I have sat next to stinky people too many times to count. Bad breath and BO. If you crack open an orange, it will deodorize or block their scent. Even the people nearby will thank you. One additional hack. If you have a bad sore throat, chew on an uncoated aspirin. For a minute, it tastes awful, but the chewed aspirin will sit on the back of your throat and relieve the pain incredibly well for an hour or more. Story 57. When you're done showering, turn off the water, stand in the shower, and dry yourself from head to knee. Lift your leg as you pat down to your ankle. Place your wet foot back down and dry your other leg as well. Then pick your favorite foot, lift it into the air, and pat it dry. Step out of the shower and dry your last wet foot. There is now 0 water outside the tub. I did this as a child and had to shower first because my siblings soaked the goddamn floor, stepping out then drying off. It's insane. Story 58. Right before your baby's bath, put a small heating pad on low heat under their blanket in the crib. When you go to change them, turn it off, but make sure none of the heat gets out. Then when it's time to put them down, they won't cry being put in a cold crib. Most people don't realize that they are crying because of the temperature change. Yay, don't come at me. You gotta do it safe. But all you new parents out there, you just got a game changer right there. Learned it from a nurse, and I'm a nurse. Good stuff. Story 59. In USA, the culture of giving away things is so widespread that you can renovate your whole house for free. We made an experiment taking things, materials, tile, or furniture, and etc. from OfferUp, Craigslist, etc. posts, and fully renovated a 1,300 SKU FT house with $0 expense. The price increased for several hundreds K. We're not contractors. We just did everything ourselves, and it was fun. Sold the house, bought a bigger one. The new house has a 4K chandelier right where I'm sitting right now. We paid $0 for it. Just some dude from a 8 Meller's house did not like the design and posted it as a giveaway. Story 60. Sprinkle baking soda on super glue. It sets up instantly. Make lemonade or tea ice cubes. Your lemonade or tea won't get watered down. Palmolive dish soap stops a squeaky door hinge. Like skim milk, split a gallon of 2% evenly between 3 2-liter bottles. Fill them the rest of the way with cold water. Buy one, get one free milk every time. Buy a pack cheap sponges and soak one in the cheapest fabric softener you can find. Wring it out till it's a little wetter than your clothes before you put them in the dryer. No more dryer sheets. Store the wet sponge, joshing excess liquid, in an old butter container with a lid. 60 packets of sugar make a cup. Put soft, chewable Werthers in the microwave for 8 to 10 seconds. Load it on a mousetrap while it's still warm. It hardens and forms around the mousetrap. 1 piece of bait, 22 dead mice. Spray 3 parts water, 1 part clear vinegar on your windshield before frost, sheared ice, sheet snow. Scraping is 19 times easier. Using a power bank for your phone? Unplug it when it gets to 100%. Otherwise, it drains the power bank a lot faster. Vaseline drowns, kills athletes, foot and jock itch. Jiffy peanut butter and great value. Peanut butter are the exact same thing. Heinz ketchup, Welch's grape jam, mixed together, Jury, BBQ sauce. I don't remember the measurements. Whew, that's all I got. Story 61. Many years ago, before I had children, I was talking to a bartender late into the night about things I'd teach my children someday. I casually mentioned that someday I'd teach my kids things like crushing single-serve crackers while inside the plastic before adding them to soup to avoid the mess. She looked at me dumbfounded and said, "You want to have kids so you can teach them such wisdom as how to crush crackers?" We had a good laugh. Many years later, I have kids and you can be damn sure they know how to crush crackers. Story 62. Someone recommends a place to me, or I see an Instagram reel of somewhere cool, restaurant, national park, etc. I save the location in Google Maps. Then wherever I am in the world, I don't need to remember. I just look at my location on maps and see what's near me to check out. If it sucks, I remove it. If it's awesome, I write a little note. Story 63. Just don't do stuff you don't want to do. I just canceled plans to see my partner's family for Christmas because while I love them very much, I'm feeling totally overwhelmed and don't want to travel. So I'm not, and they understood. Be honest about what you need. Story 64. Using a medium-sized blanket as a pillow. I am a constant side sleeper and very particular about the angle of my neck and head, depending which side I'm laying on. A blanket can be a 100% adjustable pillow if you do it right. Also, I sleep with lashes on, and if I use only a pillow, the indent curve that my head creates causes the pillow to push the outer edge of the lash inwards, and it damages them. It's also great when you have a cold and need to prop your head up more than usual while laying down. So much more convenient to use one blanket rather than hunting for the correct pillow, depending what surface you're laying on. Bed couch. Story 65. Life is about flow, a pushing and pulling juxtaposition. It can be someone with a negative attitude versus a positive outlook, or it can be the flow of the rivers and oceans. Find the people that want to help keep your cup overflowing and do the same for them. If your past is pulling you back in time, that's your depression working overtime. If your mind is constantly pushing you into the future, that's your anxiety. When your mind is focused and you're centered, then you're present and in the moment. For me, this simple philosophy has brought me back from the brink of suicide, alcoholism, and crippling depression. It helped me find my purpose in life and made me truly happy. Edit. One thing I would add is that happiness is not a constant state of mind. It comes and goes like the tide. But when you find that you are experiencing more appreciation for your life, that's happiness putting its hand on your shoulder. If I get depressed or angry, I find time to isolate myself from everything and meditate for about 10-15 minutes. In my mind, I just start trying to count the blessings in my life that I am thankful for and would miss if they were taken away. By taking emotional inventory, it helps me recenter myself and focus on what's really important. Story 66. Feet problems? Try barefoot shoes. They're part of a shore movement that lets your feet flay out and be more like they're supposed to be. There's so many options, and generally they're less than $40. I had plantar fasciitis and tendinitis, chronically in both feet. 3 months into barefoot shoes, all my foot pains are gone. I walk like 20 miles at Disney World, no issues. Most comfortable shoes I've ever worn, and they really don't support much. They adapt and mold to your foot's natural posture, just so comfy. Also, they're way easier to put on and take off. Our toes aren't supposed to be pointed, and our heels aren't supposed to be raised with tons of cushioning. Story 67. To all the dudes complaining about the light when they get up to pee at night, just sit down and pee in the dark. Sitting down to pee doesn't make you any less of a man. Spam calls. If you don't know who's calling, don't answer it. That's what voicemail is for. My phone has a do not disturb setting that's almost always on and won't even ring if the caller isn't in my contacts list. If it's important, they'll leave a message. Story 68. Weight loss is purely putting yourself in a calorie deficit for a long period of time. You can easily get a six-pack eating McDonald's if you track your calories religiously. When I found out being skinny is as simple as eating in a certain calorie range for the rest of my life, I was simultaneously ecstatic and furious that nobody had taught me something so simple. My entire family is fat and acts like weight loss is some magical mystery you need or a fad diet to solve. That mindset fucked me up for almost 30 years of my life. Story 69, live by the 80-20. If I'm not two of stuff 80-90% of the time, the other 10-20% if I slack, it's cool. Make my bed every day. Try to do 1 load of laundry a day to avoid backup, even if it's towels. If it takes less than 5 and I was going to sit down, take the 5 minutes and do it. The stairs method, if you have something to put away on another floor, put it by the stairs. At some point that day, take it up or down with you. The bra method, if you need to put something small away someplace else, put it in your bra. It'll be uncomfortable, so you are likely to put it away sooner than later when you are walking by its space. Mail, any mail lives on the counter for 24 hours. It will be sorted, addressed, trashed, recycled, coupons clipped and shredded within 1 day. The WTF spot, each floor has a, I don't know what I need to do with this, aka WTF spot. It's a drawer. Nice decorative doom box of sorts. If I don't have a place yet, don't know I put it there. It has a place, it's unseen, and if I need it, it's in 1 of 2, 3 places. The side door method. If I'm in my car and I've got stuff that's trash and it doesn't fit in my car door, I take it with me to throw out. At the end of each week, I dig out all the dry papers and everything from the side of my car door and toss it. The vacuum method. Every morning I vacuum the level in my home that is used the most. It is a quick vacuum to get up the chunks. Then I quickly vacuum 1 other level in the house. This goes for dusting 1 main area of the house a day. The towel method. I have a stack of towels that is used to dry off dogs, clean up spills, wipe off dusty areas, cleaning up other messes, and is a great filler for daily laundry. The dishwasher method. Since I live in a household where the adult's fingers are broken, I generally handle the dishes. Generally, if it's dishwasher safe, I'm going to put it in the dishwasher and run the dishwasher. It uses less water, get stuff done, and I can quickly take care of a major chore If someone in the house doesn't like it, then they can do the dishes. Since they don't get to complain about how stuff gets done. I am a procrastinator by nature, have executive dysfunction, in a self-managed industry, and am the project manager of my entire household. These things made me in keeping some sort of order in my life. This is in addition to everything else I do every day. See 90-10 rule for the days I do not have my stuff together. Story 70. I was a mover, and the one lesson way above all else that I learned was this. Buy uniform boxes of 2 to 3 different sizes. Don't just save a bunch of Amazon boxes. Maybe small, medium, and XL, and put everything into boxes. Here is how you label those boxes. 1. The room it is supposed to go in at your new apartment or house. 2. Fragile, heavy, or important for things you want to open right away. That's it. Not what the items are. That doesn't matter at all when they're being moved. Every stray lamp or Swifter sweeper or picture frame or whatever non-furniture item that you own that isn't put into a box will slow down your move and will take up far more space in the truck because you'll have to create strange, special spots for them. Only make necessary exceptions like bikes, large workout equipment, lawn equipment, etc. But I assure you this strategy can shave hours off of your move. A bonus tip is start with every single one of those boxes and stack them all the way to the ceiling as the first thing loaded in your truck. Then put mattresses and box springs against them to hold the wall in place, and then sofas to press supportive weight against your mattress box wall. Happy moving!